Hello guys, and welcome to a new tutorial. And today we are going to talk about properties, setting properties, or better says setting scale properties. Okay, so let us see. Now we are here to our GtkScale, and up here, as we already know, we have our style properties and our property. Of course, our style properties, if you check them, you will notice that both of them are deprecated and should use CSS. We are going to see these things too, but now that what is important for you is that you know that these things are not working. So that being said, let's go back, let's go to properties, and we have 4. So the first one is digits. I'm going to copy it. The number of decimal places, what you know from the setter function. So basically we are going to use our GObjectSet function, and of course we need the objects, the first one, which is a scale, and after that we need a property, which is the digits. We are going to set 3 digits, and of course the null from, and it's done. Now I'm going to compile it and run it. And we have all those 3 digits, which let us move our slider with right click. The next one, let's move to the next one, which is the drive value. The drive value, as you already know, says whether the current value is displayed as a string next to slider. So basically this means where the value should take place. This means we have the drive value. We are going to pass it right here, and then after that we need to see if it's true or false. Basically now if I set it to false, because it's a Boolean, now we have no value. So this means if you need no value, then you have no value, and that's it. I'm going to set it back to true just to be there, but I strongly suggest you to not use default properties, or do not call setters functions or on your widgets which have the same value which defaults to the value which the widgets have to when you create it. So don't use things like this, but me, I'm going to let it here just to be for the property sake. Okay, the next one has origin. As you already know, says whether the scale has an origin or not. So that being said, again we are going to set it to false, so that we see its difference. And now, as you can see, when we move this slider here, we see none of the we don't know the direction of this slider. We only can take benefit of knowing where the direction is based on the value right here, because if I dump down here, it goes to 3, 2, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and so on. So basically you know where it is. But if you set the drive value to false, then you have no idea where the origin is, isn't it? You don't know if you go at the left means 0 or at the right means 0. You don't know this. So basically, if you want to know, then let the true there, so that you know where the origin is. You see this green here, this is your origin. So basically you know that it's starting from left to right, and you know that the value, possible value, is set now from left to right and not from right to left. I'm going to put the value back to true here, and now the next one and the last one, it is the value position. The value position says the position which the current value is displayed. So default is the GTK position top, we already know. So this means we can change it. We can change it to GTK position, and now you have all those 4. Now I'm going to use right. So this means now the position will not be anymore at the top of the scale, it will be at the right. You see, it's right here where my mouse pointer is. So it looks now different, and so on. So basically this is everything you need to know about scale properties. Next one, we can use range properties. Why we can do that? Well, you already know you just need to check object hierarchy, and once that you check it, you see that GtkScale comes from GTK range. So basically you go to GTK range, properties, and see which kind of property you have. You can take the inverted one, which says inverted direction slide moves to increase the range value, and it is a G-Boolean, isn't it? So basically the default one says it's false, so now we are going to set it to true. True. Now I'm compiling and run it, and as you can see now the value of 0, it is on the right side. You see it because of the value, and you see also because of the origin, the green part here, you see it is on the right side. And now if I go to the left, it's basically it's increasing its value, and now it's decreasing its value. So basically this is what this thing does. I'm going to set it to false again, and that is round digits. We already know what this means, but let us use them just for the sake of this example. Round digits, so we are going to set now only the 2 of them, because we set the digits to 3. Now we are going to use only 2, not more. So now when we compile and run our program, for all those 3 digits, only 2 of them they are going to change, and works fine. And the same story it is if you go back now from your range to the object hierarchy. You see that the range itself, it is an object of GTK widgets. If you go to properties, the same story here. You have all those information which you need. You already saw in the last tutorial I said about margin. I use margin top. I'm going to use it right now again. Okay, so let us use a margin like 50, whatever. So now you have 50 left, top, right, and bottom, and you see the scale became smaller, but we have all these margins right here. And name, if you need to give a name to your scale, so that at this point when you work with CSS, this function basically it is GTK widget set name. Okay, so just to know, when you set the name, basically you say it is the same like you are calling GTK widget set name, and now your scale has at this point name. Not every scale, only this one. So basically if you create more scales and you need different kind of styles, then this scale has my scale at name, and when you call it in your CSS file, you will call it like this. Already know, you will see this later when we are going to talk again about CSS. And this is the way how you identify your tooltip. Okay, we already saw. If you want to set a tooltip, I don't know, a crazy name, this is my scale. Who stopped you for giving them a no one? So just use the name, whatever, which one. One thing which is good, it is that if you remember, I showed you in the last tutorial we were talking about frame. There are some useful things. For example, if I use now a frame, then if I hover my mouse pointer right here and I stop, when this part comes, this is my scale. It comes this is my frame if you use for your frame. So basically you need to override it by giving it a name. But if you don't need a name, you don't only let's say that this is my frame part doesn't come when you let your mouse pointer over your scale, then you just give a name with an empty string. So this means basically now when you hover here, it's coming nothing, but of course it won't come the name from the widget which it's the container of this scale, like was in that example where we are using our frame. Now if you use a frame and you put your scale inside it, if you move your pointer right here, it will never say this is my frame, and also it will never say this is my scale, so basically says nothing. So this is the way how you save your time. Okay, now there are, as we can see, there are a lot of things. We're not going to use them all because it is not important now for us, but I wanted to show you the same thing applies here too, like all other widgets. Based on the object hierarchy, you can use all these kind of properties which there is from a class to another one, and where the objects inherits their things. Okay, so that being said, this is enough about properties. Thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.